Michael again, and welcome to video number 3 in regards to our skilled nursing facility marketing strategies, what you guys need to know to be able to get into skilled nursing facilities, rehab facilities, or also known as pretty much nursing home. So let's go ahead and get started with this particular video, right? So when patients are being discharged from a skilled nursing facility, there is a whole lot that goes into it with the coordination of the care for that particular patient. Now, there might be some time where skilled nursing facilities will ask you to start assisting them with the coordination of the patient's care. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you educate them that you cannot start providing services for the patient until you get that physician's order or that referral form that says that you are going to be caring for that particular patient. Until that actually happens, until you get that referral, you cannot start providing services for those patients because this is going to be seen as you violating the anti-kickback statutes, right? Remember, if we are providing free services for these facilities, for the nursing facilities, and it seems like we're providing these free services for the reason that we want to get those referrals from them, this can make us look like and make us violate the anti-kickback statutes. For us to be able to start servicing the patients, for us to start that coordination of the patient's care post skilled nursing facility stay, you want to be able to make sure that you get that referral note first and explain that to that discharge planner, because sometimes they may not be knowledgeable about this particular reason. Now, let's say, for example, you want to be able to make sure that you do the legwork. Once you get that referral, you can now start the coordination of the care for the patient. You can now start asking for the patient's data information, their history and physicals, their medications, start talking to the therapy companies, start talking to the physicians, so that you can start figuring out what you need to do to take care of this patient. What equipments you're going to order. What if the patient needs oxygen? Are there certain medications that needs to be required that's going to probably take more than 24 hours to obtain? Once you get that referral, you can begin the legwork for that particular patient. Now, one thing that you can do is that when you're trying to get your name out there, when you're trying to talk to them and tell them about your company, you want to be able to tell the discharge planner, the administrator, how your team, right? Your team of staff clinicians, your administration team, your office team, you guys will be making sure that you're going to make sure everything goes smoothly as possible. The last thing you don't want to do is to cause any hiccups for the discharge planning of a particular patient. Now, when you are getting a patient from a skilled nursing home, from a rehab center, the first thing that you should always ask is this: does the patient have any wounds as well? You want to make sure, right? You want to make sure that this is important. What you're doing here is you don't want to forget that questions. Do they have any wounds in them, right? The reason why this is that you need to be able to make sure that you prepare your team. You have the right type of staff that's going to be able to care for this particular patient if they do have some wounds available in their bodies, right? Other than that, you also want to make sure that you are doing all the legwork, okay? Get all the information from them, start the care, start the services, start the referrals, start talking to the physician who's the primary care physician, ask the doctor and say, hey, doctor, what additional services do you want us to do? Do you want me to set up other services for the patient that they may need? And remember, one thing that I always teach to everyone out there is that when you finally get that referral, ask for another referral. Whether you ask that discharge planner saying, do you have anybody else that you have in mind that may need our services, that may need our care? And maybe we can start looking into the things what we need to do, find out if we can speak to the physicians. And also, once you get that patient from that facility already, right? Now you also know who their physicians are. So now you can go after that physician, start talking to that physician, start telling them about your services, start telling them about why your agency was chosen by that patient or by that nursing home, why your company is better than the other companies that he's maybe working with. By you telling him this, you may even ask for a referral from them, from that particular physician. Maybe they are servicing other patients in their office in other nursing homes that might need referrals to your agencies, right? Do you see how this goes? You have to keep on asking for referrals. Everybody should be approached on this. Make sure we ask for it. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. That's your job here. It's not just for the patient, but for you to keep on getting more referrals. Your sole job is to take care of the home health aspect of things. What does your agency need to do for that patient, for that discharge planner? Don't do anything other than that. If the skilled nursing facility is asking you to fill out some forms that are not forms required by your agency, do not do that. Okay, why? Because this can actually be seen as you providing valuable services for referrals. Only do what is necessary for the home health services of that particular patient. Remember this, that is what your sole job is. And I will go again from the beginning. Do not start any care coordination for the patient unless you already got that referral. There's a signed TO, a telephone order, unless you got that referral. Once again, why am I repeating this? Because agencies out there are making mistakes just because they want to keep on providing and keep on getting these patients. They're willing to give these free services, and they're actually putting themselves in harm's way, and they're also putting the facility in harm's way as well. Look, remember we talked about educational-based marketing materials? When you start an educational-based marketing material, I truly recommend that one of the things that you should have, one of the best things you should have to send to these administrators, discharge planners, give them 5 reasons or the 5 things that their staff may be doing that may cause them to violate the anti-kickback laws, right? And by doing that education, by explaining that to them, you can then transfer and say, this is what we make sure happens to make sure that these things go smoothly and we are able to care for the patients correctly and also help facilities with the process without having to cross the line of any anti-kickback laws. Now, this may seem that you're scaring them, but you really are not. What you're doing is you're trying to show them that you are open, that you want to help them avoiding any violations of these aspects. Sometimes people don't know these things. There's people that are listening to these videos right now. You're listening to this video right now, and you may not even know that the simplest thing of you filling up a form that is not something for a home health agency may be construed as you giving free services, doing something for free that is actually of value in order to get those referrals, which puts you in the line of that gray line of actually violating an anti-kickback law. So that's the goal here for you guys, is we need to provide services. We want to do everything. Once we get that referral, once that patient is ours, once they say it's been the patient's to be discharged to home with, eval and treat by this home health agency, right there alone, once you have that signed, once the TO has been made, the telephone order has been made by that physician, by the primary care physician, then you are ready to go. Then you go full blast. Then you give everything. You give them everything, all the care, all the services, all the attention that you can to ease that transition of the patient leaving the facility, going into their house, and making sure that is being opened right there and taken care of. So that right there finishes this video. It's pretty much the 3rd video of this 5-part video series. Make sure you watch the rest of the video series. If you haven't watched the video before this or the other video before this, make sure you go pay attention to those first before you move on forward. Always understand that this is Michael with Home Health Success Academy, and know this: marketing for home health is easy when you know what you are doing.